Right. No, it's a little bit premature, or it feels completely out of time to be talking about Super Rugby 2025, especially with a couple of weeks left in the NPC, and we're pretty much in the middle of All Blacks mode. But yeah, look, obviously this is something we talked about because the Super Rugby Pacific have released details of their 2025 season format in a rather nifty video, which you should be able to see on Facebook. I think it's on Instagram or X, formerly Twitter. And yeah, look, obviously a couple of the biggest change. The one big change is of course that we're losing one team. The Rebels, of course, unfortunately have been scrubbed out of the competition due to financial reasons. So we're down to a very strange 11 teams, which, as you know what I've said before, it's a round robin should a regular season round robin competition have odd numbers, but that's just unfortunately Super Rugby's hands just been forced. And yeah, so basically the gist is that during the regular season, each Super Rugby team will play 14 games, consisting of in six games, where they will play six teams once, and then there'll be four teams which they play twice. And look, there's no such, obviously the New Zealand Australian conference format has long been abandoned, so it's really take your pick. It's going to be a random choice. I think the draw is going to be made a little bit later, so we'll get more details as it comes, and certainly the squads are always announced, I said early November, like after the NPC is completed. So just recapping, 14 games, so you have the 6 games, and then 6 games against 6 teams, only which one team will play only once that season, and 8 games against 4 other teams twice. So and no, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be a New Zealand derby because that conference system has been split. 2 buys per season, and of course, the 14 games are going to be evenly split, so one team will have 7 home games and 7 away games, which is fair enough, I guess, if you're expecting in a comp like that. I mean, that's the nature of it. It's an 11 team comp, so there's you'll have 5 games and five game doing my math, it's 11, yes, 10. You've got the 10 teams playing each other. One team's going to always miss out. So 5 games a week, and one, someone's always going to have a bye. That's why you have 2 byes. So, finals, yes. So we are going from 8 to 6. And yeah, that makes sense because I think 8 from 11 is just way too many. The highest 6 ranked teams from as of round 16 will progress to the final series. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So 6 teams. You have 3 qualification finals, and of course 3 into 2 is not an ideal situation, really. So we have a scenario here. So normally, as we would expect, it's going to be 1 versus 6, 2 versus 5, 3 versus 4, and whoever wins those, rightfully so goes through the semi-final. But here's the big difference this year: the highest ranking loser will still get another chance, but they will be rated as the lowest, the lowest seed per se, if you want to call it that, in the semi-finals. So, make of that what you will, but yeah, it's a bit. I mean, it's kind of half pie, but I mean, it's just the scenario that unfortunately, this is the scenario I have. So, let me try and explain this. So, let's say the Blues finish top, Crusaders second. I'm just going to do it geographically. It's hypothetical. Blues 1, Crusaders 3. Sorry, let me scratch that. Let's put in geographical order just to make it easiest for me to remember. Let's say Blues, Chiefs, Hurricanes, Crusaders, Highlanders. That's your top 5. Brumbies 6. So the Blues would play the Brumbies 1 versus 6. Chiefs would play the Highlanders 2 versus 5, and Hurricanes, Crusaders 3 versus 4. Now, if the Blues were to lose to the Brumbies and the Brumbies would progress, the Blues will probably, because they finished top, they will get another shot in the semi-finals, and it really comes down to whoever finishes. Depends who wins. Look, it is easy. Yeah, once we get there, it'll be easier to explain. Yeah, so that's what it is, and that's Super Rugby 2025. Obviously, a big season ahead. No Rebels next year, and really in the face of the fact that it's not been a vintage year for both Australia and New Zealand rugby. With South and clearly the power is clearly with Northern Hemisphere and South Africa. It is certainly a crux time for the Super Rugby comp, so remains to be seen. But look, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Obviously, I know it's a bit odd talking about Super Rugby at this time of year, but it's with this, what are your thoughts on the format? And yeah, look, of course, if you like this video, do give it a like and feel free to subscribe.